Now, if you guys have any requests for any altcoins or any coins in this market you want me to do a review, just put it in the comment section below. I'll pick a request to do for you guys on a daily basis. Of course, do drop a like, subscribe as well. I will appreciate that. Now, this is a response to one of my viewers on Kava, right? And I want to do a more detailed video in response to the comments because the comment asked me, right? Let's see here. The comment asked me if I was still confident for the Kava price I predicted. Okay. Now, first of all, I'm just gonna show you guys what I'm seeing here on the charts. Okay. Like I'm just gonna base on the probability on the charts, not on how I'm feeling specifically, right? But all right, so this is the weekly chart here for Kava, and I talked about this for the past few times. I talked about Kava, and this is a falling wedge pattern, a bigger falling wedge pattern here that has been formed since way back. Okay, since May of 2023. Okay, and Kava has not been doing too much here. However, this is still an intact. This is still an intact falling wedge pattern. Okay, falling wedges have a higher chance of breaking to the upside. I'm just telling you guys what I'm seeing here on the charts, and statistically speaking, they have a higher chance of breaking to the upside. Of course, we're just talking about probabilities here, and nothing in this market is 100%. Okay, I've seen falling wedges break down, and in fact, we have one here that actually broke down. Right, I talked about the smaller falling wedge pattern here as well, and this one broke down to the downside here. That will happen. Now, what happens if a falling wedge pattern breaks down? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and zoom in here. I also want to mention that the price target for the bigger falling wedge pattern is still $1.40 if it breaks out by this point, for example. Okay. Now, zoom in to that smaller falling wedge pattern here. I talked about this falling wedge pattern that has also broken down. Okay. Now, on the weekly time frame, it looks like this smaller falling wedge pattern has already broken down already, right? Because there has been candle closes on the weekly time frame below this falling wedge pattern, the smaller one. And the highest time frame I see that the smaller falling wedge pattern is valid on is the weekly time frame. However, look at this. Since the breakdown here, it has formed a smaller falling wedge pattern, and I talked about this last time, and this one actually broken back out to the upside. Very important that you don't see a rejection here, okay, for Kava. Because if you see a rejection here, there could be more downside, right, from this breakdown here, okay? However, if you get a weekly candle close back within the smaller falling wedge pattern, then I would invalidate the breakdown as well as that smaller falling wedge pattern, okay? Because that's what happens if you get a candle close. To me, a candle close it is a signal for not only supports and resistances, but also letting me know if I should invalidate breakdowns or patterns. Where appropriate. Okay. So very important to be paying attention to this right now. See if Kava gets a weekly candle close back within the falling wedge pattern. If not, there could be more downside, and the downside I could be looking at. Let's see. Let's just zoom out to the monthly time frame, since these candles are getting really small now, right? Then the next level of support would be about 30 cents. Okay. I'm looking at previous support here, just previous candle data. If that does not hold, then 25 cents could be the next support here, which could be quite steep here, right? So that is basically what I'm looking at. Am I still confident about that price prediction? I mean, based on this pattern here, it is still telling me that this falling wedge is still valid, still intact. But if you get more downside here, I mean, then it's going to come down a lot further. It could come down a lot further to those supports I mentioned and see if those supports hold. Okay. So I hope that answers your question, and let me know if you guys want to continue seeing any more of Kava, or any other coins in this market by dropping a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.